Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with the Vampire Coast, of course. Look at these cute, cuddly little crabs. Yeah. Gonna be taking a look at a replay between them and the High Elves. So let's get to the builds here. We've got this beautiful Crab Death Star with a Vampire Fleet Admiral, the pistol sword variant up on a crab. Let's have a look. She's got Black Prep, Hornswaggle, All Hands Way, as well as Opal Amulet, Van Geist Revenge. Oh yeah, Lore of Deeps. Interesting. Also got a Lore of Vampires Fleet Captain, Taunt, the Scroll of Speed of Lycos scroll, which is a stock unspottable speed scroll. That looks like it's going to be used on this bloated corpse here, potentially. We've also got Dance Macabre, Invocation of Nehek, or should I say Dance Kebab in this particular situation. Hunger, of course, Drown Dead as well. So a pretty heavy loadout there. In terms of the rest of the army, we've got some gunnery mobs, deckhand mobs, more gunnery mobs, pole arms. Looks like we've got a carronade. Yep, all pistol variants. Meanwhile, some hounds getting chewed up in the back, having got into the cookie jar already and done a little bit of damage to some archers, but Prince on a Star Dragon, we've got Fireborn and Spearmen rallying to the cause here, taking them out. Looks like we've also got Sisters of Avalorn, some more Spearmen, and some Swordmasters of Hoeth in the front line. Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, more archers, a couple more Spearmen, and a Swordmaster of Hoeth for the caster. He's got Spirit Leech and, Spirit Leech and Earthblood. And did he just Spirit Leech the Carronade? Huh. That is not something I've ever seen before, and it's blowing up the cannons. How about that? Did you guys know that was a thing? I did not know that was a thing. That's super interesting. Apparently you can just Spirit Leech a cannon away. That's really good to know as the vampire counts. Anyway, yeah, you can see the crabs moving up. We've also got one more Scurvy Dogs that did not get spotted over on the far side there. So, yeah. This is one of the island battle maps, I believe. You can see the sea out in the distance there. Or one of the coastal battle. I'm not sure technically what the name of it is anyway. But yeah, Crab's going to be advancing up the side here. In terms of this particular build for the High Elves, personally I'd like to go a little bit wider than this, but we'll see kind of how this more elite-centric army does, especially since this was a heavy crab build. The crabs can be pretty tough to deal with for like a whole lot of low-tier infantry. You know, the Crab Death Star forms up with the right spells. It can be pretty tough to deal with, but yeah, the Carronade, unfortunately, taking some hits, also giving some hits. At the end of the day, getting 11 kills, not terrible, but definitely not what you want from an artillery piece like that. Zombies, though, catching arrows with their faces is exactly what you want, and these zombies, as they struggle through the water here, going to be moving up. Meanwhile, the Crab Death Star moving forward. Not sure if they're going to be counted as braced here, but they do technically have charge defense against large, so potentially could be pretty decent at holding back the Fireborn here. One unit just gets melted right off the bat. Lamprey's Revenge do have the standard regeneration traits, so they're going to be weak to the fire damage of the Fireborn here, but Fireborn also taking some pretty severe damage. There's lots of buffs and debuffs going on here as well, and here it comes in the front line as the zombies engage. Oh yeah. Oh baby, Van Geist Revenge right down the line, just going to devastate these High Elves, absolutely ripping through the Swordmasters and Spearmen, wrecking this entire flank, and going to allow these zombies to collapse into the back line quite nicely. Meanwhile, the Crab Death Star on the other side holding up very well, as looks like we're getting a pistol zombie summon. The Overcast version of the Drowned Dead does summon these zombies with pistols, and man, just a brutal volley point blank right into the back of those High Elf archers, going to rout them off. Potentially could be shooting away at the Bolt Thrower as well here, but very nice use of that summon there. Meanwhile, Breath Attack trying to finish off these zombies as they push through in the back line, but so far, balance of power is still pretty even. Things are not looking great for the High Elves, but yeah, so far the Vampire Coast starting to run out of steam a little bit here. They've still got some gunnery mobs in the back. The summon gunnery mobs are now compromised by Swordmasters of Hoeth. The Fireborn are continuing to hold out here despite everything, and man, how about the shaders on this map? I feel like it's like very green. And did they update the Fireborn's models? Have they always had all that gold trim on them? But man, looking fabulous as they fight in here. The Fleet Admiral fighting toe-to-toe with the Prince on the Sun Dragon there. The Sun Dragon not really too happy about the situation, and losing that Prince is going to be bad news for the High Elves. The Crabs and the polearms just surrounding, giving that nice armor-piercing damage. The Lamprey's Revenge sticking around as well. Still got all 9 unit models on station. That's pretty decent. Meanwhile, the Swordmaster of Hoeth battling it out with the Fleet Captain. Both have armor-piercing, I believe, similar combat stats. I want to say, though, that the Fleet Captain, rather, would take that, but anyway, gunnery mobs going to be trying to get into some spearmen there. Probably better just to sit back and shoot, but nonetheless, a lot of the zombies that had broken through on this flank are crumbling away, so what initially was a very favorable situation, over time, the High Elves were able to kind of sit back and stabilize a little bit here. There are still some gunnery mobs firing away, trying to finish off that bolt thrower, but Sisters of Avalorn back on station, Everqueen's Court Guards even. It's going to be a pretty dangerous situation, as their armor-piercing and flaming damage in particular are going to be very good against these Lamprey's Revenge here. So, yeah, Swordmasters holding things back for the moment. Looks like they've got the taunt up on them, lowering their stats. But, yeah, they're going to be going down relatively soon. Another regrouped unit of Swordmasters coming in, though. And at this point, just taking an overarching look at the battle, you can see very tattered units all around for the High Elves. Vampire Coast, mostly just in this center kind of death bomb area here, with a few gunnery mobs around the side here, able to stabilize, and might be able to get some good fire in here as well. Zombies with pistols, man, and I love that these guys can fire on the move too, even though they can't fire 360. Getting some shots up and around, taking out some of those High Elf Spearmen. Now, they actually do take down a couple of unit models there, which is great considering how cheap they are. But yeah, Crabs pushing through. At this point, the Lamprey's Revenge are down. They got taken down by those Everqueen's Court Guards, so now it's just the 2 Crab characters with supporting gunnery mobs. Looks like another summoned unit of gunnery mobs. May have wanted to just go for the regular summon because these guys are going to be probably in melee right off the bat, but nonetheless, looks like they have been summoned up here, and oh, it looks like he's actually trying to pull them back a little bit, which means they will be able to get some shots. Pretty decent play there. And meanwhile, the Captain and the Admiral just standing on top of these Everqueen's Court Guards. They've also got the Hornswaggle on them, which is definitely a good thing. They have very high melee defense to begin with, so even with that, they're still, 24 melee defense, so definitely very necessary. But now the gunnery mobs able to make their stand here and fire their pistols into the advancing High Elf Spearmen, and the shields will definitely help in that situation, but they're going to be able to take down some of the unit models as they're advancing there, and full 120 zombies, only 64 spearmen there, so they are pretty heavily outnumbered. Same thing with these Swordmasters, despite the fact they're obviously a better unit, they're just so outnumbered at this point, and the balance power is starting to tip. Characters are going down, the Prince, not sure what happened to him, must have got taken down, but yeah, he went down over here, I believe, yep. Anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. Super fun battle. Thanks to Falcon for submitting that one. Him versus Mookip, 2 familiar tournament players, so very fun stuff. Not sure what ended up happening to that bloated corpse, so it only got 5 kills, so I'm assuming it didn't do too much, but 141 from that Fleet Admiral there. Man, that Van Geist's Revenge was just absolutely brutal, ripping through that front line. Definitely the gunnery mobs, thrown in a little bit, I think, prematurely in certain situations, but ended up definitely paying out in that late game. 36 kills on this unit especially, 26 and 42 on some polearms, not bad at all. The Crab Death Star worked out okay, 58 on the Lamprey's Revenge in particular, very, very good unit there. For the High Elves, some of their units racking up quite a number of kills, which is to be expected against high zombie count army, but overall the bolt thrower was able to do some good damage. Fireborn, were thrown in. They probably got their money's worth taking down Crabs, but at the same time, it's tough to have that elite of a unit against a faction that's pretty good at fighting elite units overall. Like, he's lucky he didn't take a couple of Carronade shots. That would have been pretty devastating. Personally, I would have, in Falcon's situation, rather than trying to counterfire the bolt thrower, because you're probably not going to win that fight anyway, just see if you can get a couple shots on the Fireborn, because if you can take out their unit models, that significantly weakens them. They'll still probably fight to the end regardless, but those Swordmasters, 216 kills, the other group 70 kills before they got wrecked by that Van Geist's Revenge there, so very fun stuff. Super fun battle, always nice to see a good use of that particular spell, and yeah, like I said for the High Elves, I feel like if you just went a little bit wider. Cut these 2 Swordmasters for White Lions so that you can just bring more numbers to the table. Cut the Everqueen's Court Guards for just more regular archers, and maybe a couple Lothran Sea Guard. You cut the Fireborn for just some Illyrian Reavers to hold off hounds, to call it a day. Other than that, I think, you know, the Sun Dragon, a little bit of a risky pick, but it can work out. You know, Loremaster of Hoeth, Spirit Leeching that artillery from long range. I had no idea that would actually work, but yeah, it's a nice little utility for that guy there. So I kind of see what he was going for there, but I would think you would just want to fine-tune a couple of things here. So if we just go ahead and quickly jump into this. Yeah, so if we're going to go with a Sun Dragon build here, grab the Prince. I'm not sure in terms of his loadout, but let's just say for the sake of things we take him as cheap as possible. And then we're going to take the Lore Master. We'll have him keep evasion. I don't think he had that in that battle, but I want to say he just had the 2 spells. But we'll have him keep evasion just in case. Nice to have that extra melee defense, and then definitely keep the 4 Spearmen. We're going to grab a couple White Lions and the Regiment of Renown White Lions as well. And then some archers, and maybe a couple of Lothran Sea Guard, Bolt Thrower, and we only have enough for 1 unit of Reavers at this point, but you could definitely fine-tune some things and try and bring more. But certainly I think something like this would work out relatively well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.